Hello and welcome to the first pick right here on HCTV. I'm Ben Simpson alongside me, Mike Cerrone, episode number 3. A lot in store for this week as well for the future. And Mike, I'd like to welcome you into the show. We got a jam-packed show. We got headlines. We got a fun game called Hashtags. And then later on we got our picks of the week as well. As I have some interesting news for you, Mike, about how my week went. But we're going to save that for the end of the show.
Yeah, he's been lighting up my phone the past 2 days, telling me about all these different things. So I can't wait for him to tell you guys at home because it's pretty funny if you ask me.
Yeah, don't worry. It always has to end up doing with me messing up something. So we'll definitely get to that. All right, Mike, let's go ahead and just kick off the show right now. Headlines. We obviously, the World Cup being the biggest news of late, as we have our final two now, Mike, with Germany and Argentina. But let's talk a little bit about that Brazil game first off, which for those who didn't watch the game, well, you definitely learned a lot about it on the internet, because next thing you know, you check Facebook, you see Germany's up 4-0, Germany's up 5-0. Ended up being 7-1. Mike, this is one of those scores that, yeah, maybe you expect this type of thing early in the World Cup, but you have this in a semifinal against the home country, Brazil. Pretty crazy.
I mean, it was insane. I was working, and all of a sudden I got these updates saying, you know, Germany and Argentina, or no, Germany and Brazil. Sorry, Germany and Brazil. That they're going on and the game's starting and everything like that, and all of a sudden, you know, 20 minutes later, it's just crazy. I see this as the first time Germany has scored 5 goals in a World Cup semifinal, and then all of a sudden, I'm tweeting out to everybody that I follow and that follows me, what's going on for people who are working in the world right now? I mean, what was happening? That just didn't make any sense to me. So I ended up going back and watching the replay and watching all the goals. And Brazil was just flat on their feet. They were just not playing great defense. It was terrible. And then they lost Neymar the previous game, so that really kind of screwed them over, to be honest with you. And it just was not good for them. And I think that depleted their whole entire chances with having Neymar out and not having that scoring threat up front.
When you're on a doorstep of greatness, and which is what Brazil was, to be able to be in the finals and be the host country, because you know that place is going to be loud, that place is going to be loaded with Brazilians, and they were real excited about this World Cup. And when they lost Neymar, that was big. But Mike, to go down to lose 7-1 in any soccer match, not just the semis, is just crazy, especially with the amount of talent. Now, hand it to the Germans for what they did. And now you know that Argentina is looking at that film and going, these guys are good. These guys know how to score. So we'll get into that pick later in the show, but crazy stuff. But Mike, what can we expect from that finale? Obviously, without revealing our picks, kind of players to watch for. We do have that matchup. We got the Messi on the side of Argentina with trying to reach the promised land of his own. What are you thinking?
You got the heavy favored Germans going into this matchup because of their huge defeat, and that they're definitely going to be heavy favored just because they won 7-1. But obviously, I picked them to start the whole entire tournament, as Ben knows, and hopefully all you folks at home know. I've mentioned it multiple times on our show here at the first pick.
I had Brazil. Shocker, they lose 7-1.
Hey, it's all right. So that was basically our championship matchup against just competitive guys right here trying to pick the winner. But looking at it, it definitely is going to be a great game. What you got to look for is the Germany favored veterans that have on their team: Schweinsteiger, Klose, Ozil. I mean, you can just keep going on and on. And then you got Argentina. It's the young guns. Di Maria up front. Higuain played very well in their last game against the Netherlands. And you also got Lionel Messi, who I'm not too favorable. I'm a Ronaldo fan, so you got to be honest here. So basically, you're going to look at this game. It's going to be the young guns versus the old Bucks, and you're going to see which one's going to come out in this game. We're going to get to that a little later in our picks of the week.
So we're excited for that. That final is going to be on Sunday. Let's move on. National League East standings. Things are real close as we near that All-Star break. It's always so weird that they do the All-Star break after the midway point in the season. We already reached game 81. Now we're past 81 and a little bit more, and we're hitting the All-Star break. But Mike, again, it comes down to the Nats and the Braves, and that's where we are now. That's where we'll be at the end of the season, most likely. Miami has kind of fallen back. They're not what they were. Phillies are gone out of play as well. It's going to come down to the Nats and the Braves. What do you like out of the Nats lately? Now you have this series against Baltimore that's been going on, and obviously you have the rain delay. But what do you like out of this?
Well, right now when I'm looking at the Nationals team as a whole, their pitching's been very well. They had that one streak of about a week that was not very well put out for the Nationals pitching staff. But you're also looking at the sole fact that now they got a full lineup. Ramos is back, Zimmerman's back, Bryce Harper is finally back. So now you got the lineup that everyone suspected at the beginning of the season. So now you're looking at it and thinking, okay, what's the offense going to do? Because that's basically been the weak point of the Nationals program. But now you're looking at it and thinking, also, how is the pitching staff going to hold up? Tyler Clipper and Drew Storen, they've had a couple rough outings in the past 5 outings they've had each. And it's just coming down to the point where, are they going to be able to withstand the Atlanta Braves with their 9-game win streak they had earlier about a week and a half ago? And you're also going to look at the Nationals if they can basically stay put atop the NL East rather than, have that little, slip and slide where they lose 4 or 5 games in a row and the Braves get ahead of them late in the season.
Mike, I'm a comic book guy. I like Superman's one of my favorite comics. The Braves are the kryptonite to the Nationals. That's just what it is. Whenever the Nationals get near the Braves, something happens. They're just not able to function, and then they lose. I mean, we did get to see them finish off a nice series against Atlanta the past time. I actually got to see a win for once when I went to the park, which is always nice. But again, it's going to come down to these two teams at the end, and it's going to come down to my best against your best. And honestly, I would put the Nationals as the favorite in that matchup. I just like the weapons now that they finally have the whole team back healthy, which is one thing that we haven't seen from the Nats this year. Matt Williams has struggled as manager just in the fact that he hasn't had a full lineup. So now that they're all back, now that we kind of see what's going to happen, now that we know Harper comes back, and here's what's going to happen. You have Zimmerman move back to third. You have Rendon, but the guys are shifting around, here and there. But for the most part, I think when it comes down to it, the Nationals have the weapons and should take the division, which is good news for us, obviously, being Nationals fans. But, unbiasedly, I got to just say, I think the Nats will take it.
Well, I want to ask you a real quick question here, Ben, and everyone at home, I want to ask you the same thing. Ryan Zimmerman moved back to third base. We noticed that, obviously, over the past few games. Now you're looking at, okay, people have seen his throwing motion and how bad he's been throwing over to first base.
It's
so
bad.
Literally, it's
ugly.
Bad. It's ugly. I mean,
looks like us. If we were playing third base
literally,
for the Nationals,
same throw. He's basically throwing an underhand over to first base. And, a routine ground ball he got in the infield, and the infield grass, literally, he just tossed over there and barely beat the runner. So, Ben, what's it going to happen here? What's it going to do if it becomes more of a problem?
For Ryan Zimmerman, the whole thing is, again, he'll make every crazy play, and he'll make it, and he'll be able to make that throw. But any routine play, he just messes up. It's a terrible throw. Anyone on the run, when he's coming, charging the ball and throwing it, he'll be able to nail that throw every time. But for some reason, an easy ground ball, he starts looking like me and Mike. And that's a problem for the Nationals because they need to have a third baseman who's reliable, especially if they do make the postseason. And I think, like you said, Mike, I think the problem might be is, hey, you might have to just shift some guys around. And of that starting 9, who's ever not hitting, you're just going to have to be out of that lineup because Ryan Zimmerman's going to need to move from third base. You're going to have to put him out in the outfield, do something. If one of those outfielders, like if Bryce Harper doesn't turn it around, I got the Bryce Harper little batting thing right here. What you don't see is the ball going by as he swings and misses because that's all he's been doing lately, Mike. We'll see.
It's very tough to see because Anthony Rendon came up from Rice University and played third base. And you've seen him time and time again make great plays over there. Yeah. And he's also hitting very well like he usually always does. He didn't make the All-Star team. We know that. So looking at it right now, what are you going to do with Anthony Rendon? Are you going to keep him at second and keep benching Espinosa? What are you going to do? Ryan Zimmerman's defense is lacking, especially in the hot corner at third base. It's going to be a huge detriment to the team if he can't throw the ball across the diamond, which you're supposed to do in the major leagues.
Yeah, you're supposed to do.
You're supposed to do it.
That's why you're getting paid millions of dollars to throw the ball to first base. All right, last topic here on the headlines. Obviously, basketball fans have been going nuts because we've had the LeBron, the Melo, the Bosh, the sweepstakes going on, Mike. And, I've been covering this, pretty heavily on my own. And, again, it all signs suddenly now pointing – and I'll commend you, Mike. You were right. LeBron is probably going back to Cleveland. And again, when you came here on the show, I said Mike is he has no idea what he's talking about. He doesn't really know LeBron like I do. And Mike, you were right. He's probably coming back to Cleveland, most likely. You saw the Cavs completely clear all their cap space to be able to make room for him. He's going to get paid. And then second of all, everything's pointing to that, Mike. So I commend you. The jerseys that they burned back in Cleveland, they're trying to fix them real quick, tape them up because LeBron's coming back. I'm telling you.
It was a storybook novel from the start. You have a young point guard, which LeBron James has never played with a legit point guard like a Kyrie Irving. And now you got Andrew Wiggins in the draft, a young buck, which I still think they should have got Jabari Parker for a number 3 position so LeBron could play the number 4, which he usually is supposed to play. But just looking at it, they got a storybook now. It's a storybook, okay? He leaves Cleveland, huge debacle with the decision, and then he goes to Miami, wins a couple titles, goes to 4 straight titles, though, and now he goes back to Cleveland. He goes back to Cleveland, folks. I mean, I'm telling you right now, it's going to happen. I just can't understand how people think that, oh, yeah, Pat Riley and everyone, he's going to stay in Miami. He's not staying in Miami. Him and Chris Bosh are feuding right now, having a little standoff. Who's going to get the best contract right now? They're both going to get max money, but now you think, is Chris Bosh going to stay in Miami, or is Chris Bosh going to go to Houston? And now LeBron's saying, I don't know. Should I listen to my family? My family wants me to go back to Cleveland. He wants his sons, his kids, everybody to grow up in Cleveland, where he grew up. So that's the whole, or in Akron, in Ohio area. But you're looking at it and thinking, okay, is he going to go to Cleveland? Is this going to be another debacle where it comes down to like the last, possible second, or is he going to make this decision soon? The rumors were out today that he was making a decision and it was coming out, and this didn't happen.
Yeah, we'll see. We'll see what goes on. Also, one last thing, Melo, we're still waiting to see where LeBron will go, and then Melo will follow suit. He'll probably go to the Lakers most likely, but we'll see. Well, actually, he might re-sign with the Knicks too, though.
It's not a bad decision.
There's a couple different things. All right, let's move on, Mike. Enough with the headlines. Let's get to the fun stuff. We have a little game today called Hashtag, where we have a bunch of different little categories, and Mike and I have prepared some hashtags. We got our handy-dandy, what are these, $2 whiteboards that you went out and bought?
I think they were $3.
Yeah, and you got the 1 centimeter eraser, so that doesn't really work well. So luckily we've got the Jack hooked us up with some tissues.
Yeah, you the man,
Mike. So all right. So again, the way it's going to work is I'm gonna read one of the categories, and Mike and I have hashtags. We're just going to hold them up so you can read it. You can go ahead and play at home. Write it on the wall of your house if you want. You write it on the do whatever you want to do. All right.
That's a little.
Maybe don't do that.
That's not that great.
All right. All right. First one. 44% of a 170,000 person fan vote says LeBron returns to Cleveland. What's your hashtag, Mike?
I'm going with sweet deal. It's a sweet deal that he's going back to Cleveland because I called it from the start. Ben and everyone at home knows that I called he's going back to Cleveland, and 170,000 person vote, almost half said he's going back to Cleveland rather than Miami or any other team in the NBA. So I think it's a sweet deal.
By the way, excuse my terrible handwriting. And also, for those who don't know what hashtags are, well, it's on Twitter, Mike, right? Mike's the Twitter guy. It's you can hashtag and add things in your tweets. I don't know. My hashtag is hashtag forgiven. LeBron, finally, the folks in Cleveland, if you remember, the folks in Cleveland were pretty darn upset, Mike, when LeBron left. They kind of felt like he was a traitor. They didn't exactly feel too kindly about the move. You saw a lot of videos of fans crying, fans burning jerseys. Well, guess what? Now that he's their guy again, they're all smiles, Mike. They're all smiles in Cleveland. Hashtag forgiven. Next one, Brazil losing at home 7-1 against Germany. Mike, what do you got?
I have 5 more minutes, Mom, because Brazil basically fell asleep against Germany and they did not know what was going on. So 5 more minutes, Mom. I need to stay in bed and start sleeping a little more, just like Brazil did.
That's a good one. I like that.
Thank you.
See, I didn't understand when you told me first, but now I get it. Okay, 5 more minutes?
Thank you.
All right. That was me in school, except for, it was more like 15, and then I just didn't show up.
Good.
Next one.
Okay, then.
Brazil losing at home 7-1 against Germany. Hashtag what? For Brazil. This was kind of what they were saying on the field, Mike, after they went down, 3-4 goals early on in this ball game. They didn't know what hit him. It was a Mack truck. It was the German Mack truck right there. They just absolutely, as we mentioned earlier, Brazil just crushed. Next one. Looking forward to the All-Star break. Mike, what do you got?
I have Celebrity All-Star Game. I tell you, if you go watch the Celebrity All-Star Game, it's about, I think it's after the Home Run Derby, and basically it's the funniest thing out there. Eric Stonestreet is out there. I mean, Kevin James is out there. If you like these guys, they're just hilarious. So Celebrity All-Star Game, it's really late at night because the Home Run Derby lasts like 7 hours because they drag it out every single.
Plus, they're celebrities. They got to be casually late. Right?
Yeah, they got no. The
casually early.
The celebrities aren't late. It's the showing's late. It's early. It's actually earlier than the Home Run Derby. Anyways, check out the Celebrity All-Star Game. It's hilarious. You'll get a kick out of it, folks.
All right, for me, I'm going with hashtag Derby, Home Run Derby. If you want to see some big guys just
Kentucky Derby?
Crush baseballs, there you go. Just hit some home runs. Mike, by the way, when are we going to be on the Celebrity All-Star Game? I don't know. Did you get the call? Because I didn't get the call.
I got a call, but I didn't.
HCTV, we'll represent. We'll wear the shirts and everything.
I got a call once, but I denied it because I was here at Herndon Community Television.
Yeah, there you go.
The studio's here, and I just had to get the show done. So sorry, folks at home, you won't get to see me swing the bat. So.
Yeah, I don't think they want to. Okay. Next up, Johnny Manziel, the new Cleveland Brown. He was caught having fun
You're dissing me a lot
with
today.
our boy the Biebs, Justin Bieber. He was having fun with Justin Bieber. Mike, what's your hashtag?
I got hashtag bromance. Hashtag bromance. I don't know if bro and mance are supposed to be one word or not, but I did it as 2 words. Hashtag bromance. I'm telling you right now, folks, it's hilarious how Johnny Manziel is, everyone's saying, okay, it's okay, he can go party and everything like that, but he has to stoop to the level of Justin Bieber. I mean, seriously, the Biebs. I mean, geez, it's just getting out of hand with Johnny Manziel because he doesn't know how to stay out of trouble, and now he has to resort to the level of Justin Bieber. I mean, let's be honest here. It's getting out of hand here with Justin Bieber, and like I heard on the radio today, we went from Frank Sinatra to Justin Bieber. That's all you got to say.
Oh, don't use those 2 names in the same sentence. All right, next up, for me, I'm going hashtag leather shorts. I'm pretty sure Justin Bieber was one who was very famous for rocking the leather shorts that go down to about right below your knees. So I'm going to see Johnny Manziel on the football field. It's a pretty similar look, actually, to football pants. So I'm going to say Johnny Manziel starts rocking the leather football pants, and he's going to look like Biebs. They wear the sunglasses and everything, man. It's going to be great.
Okay.
I switched it. I had a different one. I put leather pants.
That's a good prediction.
There you go. Final one. Only 35% of 18,000-person fan vote have ever tweeted during a sporting event. Mike, what do you got?
Before I get to my hashtag, now, if you guys don't tweet during a sporting event, it's basically a venting outlet. I mean, if the Nats, I was tweeting off the wall when they lost Game 5 against the Cardinals. I could not stand it. I mean, I had to resort to tweeting rather than getting my lacrosse stick and beating the heck out of the couch because I was so upset because they lost a 6-run lead. Yes, that's what I do.
All right.
Okay, 6-run lead, they lost, and it was just detrimental. So, hashtag weak sauce. Hashtag weak sauce. It's more of a phrase for our generation, but hashtag weak sauce because, come on, people, get on the tweets. It'll cut down crime, I believe. It's not because people there's mobs in Canada from all the Montreal losses and all that stuff from hockey.
Okay.
It's proven. I've been watching Cops a lot lately, so they've been on all the cop shows. Anyways, hashtag weak sauce. Ben's okay. Hashtag weak sauce. That's all I'm gonna go with.
All right, my hashtag turn off the phone. What are you doing? You're at a sporting event. You're supposed to be watching the game. Too many times we get camera shots.
You misread it. It says during, not at.
Same thing. You're at the game. You're sitting on your couch watching the game, Mike. Regardless, you're supposed to be watching that game. I'm tired of watching the camera go on people behind home plate, the people with the best seats in the house, and they're on their phones the entire time. Also, if you're at home watching the game, if you can tweet during the commercials, you can vent a little bit. I understand that, Mike. But again, when the game's on, turn off the phone. You got to watch what's going on, Mike, because you might miss something. That's the thing about sports is you look away for 1 second, you have a crazy play.
I mean, I've seen so many times where on different types of shows, comedic shows, that they say like, "Oh yeah, look at this lady back here because she's been, lady or man." I'm not gonna say just point out one sex, but looking at it, it's hilarious because they're sitting there and they're just typing away, and then like the foul ball in fever pitch. She was on her computer doing all this stuff. I'm telling you right now, it's crazy. It's crazy.
And also,
world.
there was a thread a little while ago where they had pictures of people reading books while they're at baseball games.
I hate those people.
I understand baseball is pretty boring, but at the same time, don't bring a book to the game.
Don't read a book.
All right, Mike, we finally got to one of my favorite parts of the show, and the only reason it's my favorite is because I'm winning. Picks of the week, Mike. Mike and I pick games every single week, and right now the current standings are Mike 6-3-1. I am 7-2-1, so only up by 1. I'm surprised that Casey Kane pick every week somehow doesn't get me even further up.
No, that's why you're winning right now, because Casey Kane actually beat Tony Stewart in the road race.
There you go. I didn't even know because I don't watch NASCAR. All right. I don't even watch the games I pick. All right, let's go. First game. This is the game for 3rd place in the World Cup, Mike. We got Netherlands and Brazil. Obviously, Brazil coming off that big loss. Netherlands losing a close one there in penalty shootout form. Who do you got, Brazil or Netherlands?
I got Holland in this one because the Netherlands are just a phenomenal team. I mean, they just didn't have a great game in the semifinal matchup against Argentina. But you're looking at it, Andres Robben, Wesley Sneijder, Robin van Persie. I mean, you got some all-stars of the world on this team. It's a shame they didn't make it past Argentina. They just didn't have a great game. They didn't have a great game before against Costa Rica either. But you're looking at it, Brazil is just so down in the dumps right now. They want to salvage some pride, but I don't think it's going to happen.
See, that's what I look at, Mike, is I look at Brazil losing that ball game at home, in the country of Brazil, and I think that they come out here, and this is for 3rd place, and when it comes down to who's going to remember who got 3rd place in the 2014 World Cup, but at the same time, the Brazilians will. they will remember if they got third place. So I think that they're playing for pride, they're playing for their country. And I'll tell you, it was definitely an embarrassment for Brazil to lose that badly. So I say they come out with a little bit of fire. Yeah, they still don't have Neymar, that stinks. But at the same time, I think the Brazilians take this one. So I'm comfortable with that pick.
Okay.
Second game, Mike, this is for the championship, for World Cup.
Indeed it is.
We got Argentina. We got the Germans. Who do you got?
I got the Germans. Okay, I just can't stand Messi. I just can't stand him. That's not,
Hashtag biased, man.
That's
Come on.
not favoring my pick here. That's not favoring the pick, okay, people? Argentina, they're a good up front squad. Their defense, not so much. They put a lot of people back on defense, 5, 6 guys, maybe even 7 guys at times, to put back on defense to hold off whoever their opponent is. I'm looking at it right now. I don't think Di Maria coming off an injury, one of their best offensive guys, if not the second best guy on the team up against Messi, I don't think they can do anything because Messi is just going to get hounded by the Germans. The Germans have a great midfield, a great entire front four, I guess, because they've been putting 4 with Klose, Ozil, everybody up there. But the Germans, I just think they're going to go out there and just whoop up on the Argentinians.
Whoop up. Well, I'm going to go the other side on that, Mike. I'm going to go with the Argentinians. I'm going to go with Argentina because I actually really enjoy the way Messi plays. I know you're a Ronaldo guy. I'm a Messi guy. That's why this works.
You're a mess.
Yeah. I'm going with Messi here. I'm going with Argentina. I'm going to say they take the title, Mike. And again, Messi's faced a lot of scrutiny because, again, people say that he's not even the most loved player in his own country because of past players and stuff like that. But I like Messi in this matchup. I like Argentina in this matchup. But this is going to be a good game. This is going to be a close ball game. This could even go. Argentina coming off a penalty shootout game. That could happen here. It could be a 1-1 game going into extra time, going into penalty. We'll see. Final game, third game here, going into baseball. We got Oakland at Seattle. Again, for those familiar with the show, we do we pick the series. So whoever's going to take the series, usually a best of 3. So Oakland at Seattle. I'll go first here, Mike, and I'm going to take Seattle here at home. Again, we try to differ up our picks, but unfortunately, Mike, we've picked the same team this week. Again, but I like Seattle's chances. Oakland's been playing well. They got the new pitching staff that they added a couple guys, but I just like Seattle at home.
Yeah, I'm going with Seattle too. It's unfortunate that we didn't pick different this week. I was trying to go with the upset pick with Seattle, but of course Ben had to copy me like always. Yeah, that's why he went first.
That's why I'm 7-2-1.
Yes, we know, Ben. We already heard that.
7-2-1.
Seattle, I'm telling you, Seattle's going to win the series because the first matchup is Samardzija, who came away from the Cubs to the A's, against Felix Hernandez. Felix Hernandez is the king. I mean, he is a beast. He's been playing on a terrible team in Seattle for his whole entire career, basically, and just goes out there and dominates pitching every 3 or 4 starts. Every 3 or 4 starts, he goes out there and throws like a no-no or a perfect game or something crazy. But then every other start, he's throwing like maybe a 2-run ball game or something very respectable. So I think Seattle's going to be the upset one and come out with this win.
Hashtag free King Felix. Get him out of Seattle. We need him on a real ball team. All right,
Detroit would like him.
Yeah, Detroit would love King Felix. Moving on, Toronto at Tampa Bay. I'm going to go with the Blue Jays, Mike. No analysis. I'm going with the Blue Jays.
Oh,
go ahead.
Well, all right then. I did not expect him just to end like that. Yeah. I thought he was going to have more of a reasoning behind it, but leave it to us experts. Thanks, Ben.
Yeah, no problem.
Tampa Bay, I'm definitely going with Tampa Bay in this one because of the sole fact that they have Evan Longoria. I think Evan Longoria is a leader on and off the field. I believe that when he's in the dugout, he's helping out. Even if they give him a day off, I think he'll still be in there helping out, trying to motivate the guys to stay in the race in the AL East. They were in the dumps about a month ago, but they're starting to work their way back into the whole entire AL East mix. And you're looking at Madden. Madden's one of the best managers out there, and they want to keep David Price. They don't want him to go away. I'm telling you, they don't want him to go away because if they're not in the race, he's said to be getting traded. But if they are in the race, they're going to keep him. David Price, he's beloved in Tampa Bay.
Yeah, David Price, the whole David Price debacle has been so weird because the guy is just a stud. I mean, a great left arm. A guy, you don't usually have lefties throw the type of speed that he does. And David Price is a terrific arm, and yet Tampa Bay, again, rumor after rumor comes out that they're going to get rid of him. And again, that would upset me as a player. If I keep hearing that, hey, my team might not even want me, I don't like that. But as you mentioned, Tampa Bay right back in the race. All right, Mike, the final pick here, and we got a little caveat to this, is so we're picking ML.
Bonus pick.
Yeah, we got a bonus pick. We're picking the Derby. So we got American League and we got National League, and then we also are going to pick our player who we believe is going to win the Home Run Derby. I'll let you go first.
Okay, I'm first picking the National League. I'm telling you, the National League is going to win this because of my bonus pick, which I will get to after Ben picks. But the National League is just loaded. Their captain is Troy Tulowitzki of the Rockies. And he picked a couple guys that, it's just favorites of the crowd because he thinks that the one guy is Giancarlo Stanton. That's going to be the beast for his team. And I just think that everyone on the roster for the National League has a little bit better power numbers than the people in the American League.
Again, I like that pick. I like Giancarlo Stanton, formerly known as Mike Stanton.
Why did you change the name?
Don't ask me.
Don't ask me either.
It sounds cool. I mean, Giancarlo sounds a little cooler than Mike. I mean, I know you're a Mike, so I don't want to say that to you. Just change it to Giancarlo. Giancarlo Cerrone.
I set myself up for that.
For the American League, I'm picking the American League. I like what they have. I like the defending champion there, and Yoenis Cespedes from Oakland.
Say that again.
Yoenis Cespedes from Oakland. And again, he's the defending champ. He went against our boy Bryce Harper with this swing. Last year in the Home Run Derby, Bryce finishing second. He had the nice cleats up there in New York. I'm going to go with Yoenis Cespedes as my pick. Again, Batista right there.
We're going to get a bobblehead of
You got
Yoenis
Dozier.
Cespedes. You
got Adam Jones. You got a good squad. Again, it should be a fun one because, as you said, Stanton would be my other pick. If I didn't pick Cespedes, I definitely would go with Stanton because this kid's got some pop. He's going to hit 50 home runs in his first time and then just leave the park. He already won.
Okay, so you got Yoenis Cespedes.
Yes.
Correct?
You just want me to say it again?
Yes, I know. I did.
Who do you got?
Well, I said I'm picking the National League. I wanted to pick Big Pete here, but it looks like he's cheating.
Mike brought a gnome today. Again, if you notice, we have some pretty weird stuff here on the desk. We got the Abraham Lincoln bobblehead. Again, if this is your first time watching, we got the Davey Johnson manager one. We got some normal bobbleheads here. You got our boy Gio. You got Jordan Zim. You got Strasburg.
We got the good pitchers.
And then we have Abe Lincoln and we have a gnome. So that kind of tells you a little bit about the show if you haven't seen it before.
Don't judge Big Pete over here, okay? I was going to choose Big Pete, but I'm going to go back to my bonus pick here.
Well, Mike, that finishes picks of the week, but Mike, I
didn't choose my guy.
Oh, go ahead, pick your guy.
Jeez, man, this guy.
I was concentrating on the gnome.
I already said it before. I'm going with Giancarlo Stanton, a.k.a. Mike Stanton, because he's just a beast.
All right, Giancarlo Cerrone. Giancarlo Cerrone. All right, so there's your picks of the week. We'll let you know next week how our standings are doing, or otherwise known as I'll still be in first place. But Mike, I did want to let you know. You can. This pick of the week won't count against the standings or anything. But Mike, I want you to pick how many games my flag football. See, I'm running these flag football camps, for kids. So getting them out there. It's at Redskins Park. It's a lot of fun.
Good
so
deal.
my team, they started 2-0. So after the first day one, I was real pumped, Mike. I thought I got the squad.
Were you pumped?
I got the squad. We've lost 5 of our last 6 games.
I got the
I've had
squad.
3 kids that'll get hurt. I've had 3 kids that want to be traded. Mike, the franchise is over. The dream is over. Day one, I should have just left camp. But Mike, I want you to pick how many games my team is going to win tomorrow. I got 3 games tomorrow.
Okay.
How many games are we going to win?
I'm going to go with 1 just because, you know what? It's just that's the first number that came to my head.
1? All right, Mike's going to go with 1. He's giving me a little sympathy. Again, I won't pick because I'm the coach. I would be biased, But hopefully I'll take at least 1. I'll take 1. But I just wanted to let you know that we started 2-0. We've lost like 6 in a row. That just shows you the coach talent. Hashtag I'm on thin ice, man. They might get rid of me. They might fire coach.
Do you have an app of the week?
Yeah, my app. No, I don't really have a good app of the week.
Coaching for dummies.
Yeah, there you go. My app of the week will be Coaching for Dummies on the App Store. There you go, Mike. Again, we want to remind everybody that you can check us out on WGMUradio.com where we do a radio show 5 to 7 p.m. on Sunday afternoons. Again, if you didn't get enough of our shenanigans here tonight, you get 2 hours of us, just our voices on Sunday. So turn us on with Sunday dinner. And here Mike and I just argue for 2 hours. It's good. It's a good time. We get guests on. It's a lot of fun.
Yeah, we went off on a tangent last week because it was hilarious, but a lot of people didn't tune in because just some technical difficulties.
We'll talk about bowling. We'll talk about
everything.
All right, Mike, throw out the social network stuff.
Tune in to Twitter at Cerrone16 for me, at First Pick Blog for Ben. If you want to see all of our on-demand replays of our radio shows and everything, go and search my name, Mike Cerrone, on YouTube, and then go on Facebook, search The First Pick right there on Facebook. Search it, and tell the family and friends, and spread it out a little bit.
Also, youtube.com/The First Pick Show on YouTube as well. Find us there. Tweet us. Throw some hashtags at home. I erased my last hashtag. I believe it was the leather pants one. I don't remember. But go ahead and find us at home. Tweet us whenever. And Mike, Again, I'll see you next week, and we'll see where the standings are.
Hopefully, they'll let us back in the building.
For Mike Cerrone, I'm Ben Simpson. It's been another fun show. This has been the First Pick right here on HCTV.